Oh. There's one or two questions.
У кого есть вопросы? Пожалуйста.
Добрый день. Все присутствующие, у меня такой вопрос. Читал где-то, что Алёкадешвара когда-то 3 раза освободил всю сансару от всех живых существ. То есть он всех поднес к просветлению, и потом все равно сансара заполнялась живыми существами. Вот. И правда ли это, если это как-то происходило, не могли бы мы... Спасибо.
The question is, I have read that Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara 3 times emptied the whole samsara, so made the samsara empty, he liberated all sentient beings from samsara 3 times, but nevertheless again and again samsara would...
He did 3 times what?
He emptied samsara, so he liberated all sentient beings from samsara 3 times. But then somehow samsara again became full of sentient beings. Is it correct? I translate for those people who speak English.
Okay.
So the question...
So the question is, I have read somewhere that Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, have emptied samsara 3 times, so he liberated all sentient beings from samsara 3 times, but nevertheless samsara became full with sentient beings again each time. And the question whether it is the case and perhaps why.
The Avalokiteshvara already liberated all the samsara beings, and that means we are also liberated. Then you are also liberated. We all are liberated already, long time ago. It would become that. So you can see why we are suffering now. Why we have mental problems and physical problems. Why we are suffering now, we were suffering. So yeah, it would have been enlightened a long time ago. So that is he liberated numberless sentient beings, but then he discovered still there are numberless other sentient beings. That he had to realize that. Okay. Yeah.
Уважаемый учитель, вы много говорили об отхищите, о развитии сострадания. У меня такой вопрос. Когда я иду от метро сюда, вот в зал, обратно, я вижу по дороге много профессиональных попрошаек. Когда я еду в метро, я вижу людей, которые занимаются бизнесом, выклянчивая деньги, так сказать, у пассажиров. И у меня возникает смятение, я не понимаю, как мне правильно действовать. С одной стороны, я думаю, что мне, наверное, не надо, так сказать, разделять людей на то, кому действительно нужно подаяние, кому не нужно, моя задача давать. С другой стороны, мне кажется, что, наверное, надо какую-то мудрость проявлять и как-то разделять эти ситуации. В общем-то, вопрос в том, какие бы дали рекомендации, как поступать в таких случаях, когда мне кажется, что люди злоупотребляют То есть понятно, так сказать, если там бездомные кошки, там как бы, не вопрос. Там понятно, почему и как нам помогать. Когда люди злоупотребляют моим состраданием, как мне правильно быть в этом случае?
So the question is that a precious teacher these days, he was speaking a lot about generosity and charity and how important it is to help others. But when I walk here, for instance, I see many professional beggars, those people who just always there and they always ask for money, or those people who are asking money in the underground, in metro. And so I asking for money, so they're begging. In the underground, in the transport, and I understand that they are just professionally begging. So this is their way of life, this is their profession, and this is their business. So I always hesitate to help them. And my question is, when we practice generosity, do we need to discriminate? Do we need to try to understand what another person's motivation is? Are we trying to help everyone without any kind of discrimination? And it's a kind of a generous approach, and this is what we should do, or we need some discrimination or some wisdom, and to understand in which case it is good to give, in which case maybe it's not that good to give. Of course, I understand that if I give food to a cat, it's a good thing, but if it is a human being and he or she might abuse my generosity, or abuse my help, misuse it, then I don't know whether I should help or not.
You should give a beer to a cat. And make all the cat drunk. Maybe the dance, sing. So I've been giving money to the beggars there. There are three beggars, 3 or 4. One is always sleeping. One beggar is always sleeping. I don't know, maybe too much drink. But of course they were looking at their body, and it looks like what a drink, how the bottle looks like. So we've been giving money to them, and I have been telling them to not use the money for drinking, and this money, don't use it for drinking, but eat food, I was telling them. So this time when I came, didn't give money, but we brought a lot of fruit. We brought fruits, what people give them, give them quite a bit of fruits. And this time, what are 3 beggars? So you see, in the LZR Teachings by Lama Tsongkhapa, it is explained like guns, and which it harms other people, which harms other sentient beings, guns, things like that, anything which harms. That is not object to make charity, which harms others. So you make charity only what helps them, not what harms them is not. So that. So it is mentioned. It doesn't mean everything should be given guns or anything, you see. Not that. It's mentioned a few things are not allowed, not to materially, it's explained. Then what do you say? What is the question before? The question before, just that? Just on that, or what else? The one question before? On that? Or there was something else? Huh? The one before.
Я не совсем понял, стоит ли как-то разделять людей, кому давать, кому не давать.
So still there is a question whether we need to discriminate the people. Okay, there could be different situations and different things that we can give. But what about these people? Can we say there are different categories of people and to some of them we give and to some we don't?
No, you see, generally, I mean, you can give anybody, but especially I think who need more, who need urgently, who need, so give it like that. It's good. We need more. Think that give. Otherwise, give the white one, don't give the black one, or give the black one, not give the white one, or don't give didn't give it anybody. There's no discrimination. There's no discrimination. Same. And in particular, those who need, you give to those who really need it. So that. So I don't know how much you can give. Of course, in the amount of tax we can give, but those who are more need, they give. Okay. Yeah. Like so there's no discrimination. Same. So so when you give, when you make charity, doesn't matter even if it's candy or you're giving chocolate or money, whatever. You see, as I mentioned in the teaching one evening, I mentioned. So, you see, think of the first thing, kindness of the person. So, all your past means from beginningless rebirth. From beginningless rebirth, all the happiness now, all the happiness, future, including enlightenment, everything I receive from this person, from this sentence, this kindness of this sentence, every single pleasure, even the comfort in the dream. So the most, this most precious one for me, most precious, most kind, most dear, D-E-R, most dear, for me. And my wish fulfilling, one who fulfills all my wish for achieve all the happiness, the enlightenment, Buddhahood. So then you may offering this, not like this. Oh, I'm giving the beggar. Oh, like no, this is disrespect. That's no. We offer with the two hands. We offer with the two hands respectfully, because you taught kindness. Now you know, logically you know. Oh, this the most kind, most precious, most dear. We wishful, all wishful to you. So you see, so even from where Buddha Dhamma Sangha, you object to your refuge, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, Buddha Dhamma Sangha. This came from this passion. Even Buddha, most Buddha, Dharma, Sangha came from this passion, this dissenting. So I'm here using example, him being beggar, but I mean it could be animal, insect. So then, of course, respect with the two hands. Money, you see, through the two hands, you offer like that. Not all this bag all like that. All like this, you offer. You offer like this, respect. So that in Buddha, the beggars, I offer like this. So I offer like this. They also take the money like that. Normally not. So I offer like this. Then they also take the money like that. So, then you are aware. Remember, this is also your best offering to numberless Dhamma Sangha. This giving to this beggar, this whom you may cherish, you give all this best offering to a numberless Buddha, Guru Krishna Buddha, numberless Dhamma Sangha. Oh, numberless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas become the best offering. What do you offer? Kenji or whatever you say. Offer. Oh, remember that. Best offering. That also becomes the offering. By the way, not only charity, but it also becomes the offering. So for you, it's great happiness. For you, whatever you give, for you, it's call it collect merit, scarce merit. I mean, you can generate bodhicitta before you give, then you say purpose of my life to not just to achieve happiness for myself, and even free from samsara. Purpose of my life is to free the numberless enemy from the oceans of samsara, not that to bring to Buddhahood, peerless happiness. Therefore, I must achieve enlightenment. Therefore, I am this charity. But general Buddha is the motivation, but it's that which you collect, that which, you see, you collect more than sky. Sky is limitless. So, more than, you collect merit, more than sky. Merit you collect. Remember, more than sky, you collect merit. You understand? If it's in the bodhicitta. Then of course you can think the kindness. Then become also become offering, best offering, your best offering. It's what makes you most happy. Number is Buddha, Bodhisattva. You see, even what you give is a candy but it's the practice, it's a way of practicing, effective practice. Happiness. Good happiness. Rejoice. Great happiness. More than sky marriage with the bodhicitta. Other with this, then giving this, and then you rejoice. Wow, you rejoice. Or then the more than scarce marriage, and then giving them scarce marriage. Then multiply, double. As if you rejoice. Double. There is no such business. There is no such business in the world than rejoicing, than practicing bodhicitta. Make charity with the bodhicitta. And then rejoice at the end. Marriage. double, you see, more than scarce minutes, and then they will double. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Yeah. What? There's somebody else. Somebody else want.
Да, здравствуйте. У меня такой вопрос, он связан с неким внутренними убеждениями, ощущением, что абсолютное благо – это есть Бог, и лучшее состояние, когда я чувствую, что Бог проявлен во всем. И сейчас, когда я размышляю о ваших словах и обнаружении пустотности, и медитации на пустотность, то мне кажется, что в пустотности меня привлекает некие божественные качества. Как можно это трактовать в контексте ваших учений?
The question is about my highest value being God, and
what? Has valued God.
the question is about God.
God.
Allah, and the Creator God. So if I believe in God, and this is my highest value and highest belief, and I believe that there is a God that exists in everything, so there is a God everywhere in all things. But now I try to practice meditation on emptiness, the Buddhist Shunyata meditation, and I find this meditation interesting and helpful for me because it allows me also to experience some qualities of the God with this meditation. What could you say about it?
I don't know about God, but you practice good heart. That is God. You practice good heart to all sentiments. It's good. That's I regard God. Yes, Shunyata, you're right. Oh, Shunyata is material. Shunyata is very helpful to day-to-day life, to stop with it. Then, when you think of Shunyata, all the delusions, all the anger, attachment, ignorance, all the delusion becomes false. You can see it's a false concept, not correct. So I don't remember the word. That's quotation from Nagarjuna. So you see, loving kindness is the opposite to anger. Loving kindness is the opposite to anger. Patience, just opposite, peaceful, just anger. Looking in nature ugly, looking in nature suffering ugly, that become that stops attachment to the beautiful object. By looking at object in nature suffering and ugly, you see that part, then able to stop attachment and you see like that. So, but you see emptiness, which covers emptiness, then that, see, when you think emptiness, the root of samsara, the ignorance, see, holding the I is truly existing while it's not, holding the aggregate existing from samsara, existing by nature, and truly existent, and in everyday, in our common language, real. So you see, as it appears, but it's not. But not even one atom of it exists from beginning. And so you see, that wisdom, seeing the emptiness, exactly against to the ignorance, the holding the I truly, holding the aggregate truth, everything is true exists, except on the side, which is total false. Which is total false. So, see, so the word appears to the hallucinant mind truly exists. As I described how the ignorance will create, as I described 2 days, I mentioned. So that you can see the how create the wrong concept, the ignorance, rooted samsara. So clearly you can see the wrong concept. So they think the emptiness. So you see, you see, seeing the eye empty, seeing the eye empty, do not exist from inside. Then you see, comes to the conclusion: the I exists in mere name. Comes to the subtle dependent arising, exists in mere name. So realizing that, then it helps unify with the sport. It is empty of, it is empty of truly existence, empty of the real one. The I is empty of the real I. So those two are unified each other. They exist. The emptiness and the emptiness only, shunyata, and the existence, the I, is unified each other, not contradictory, but unified each other. So that it has to work like that. So then you see, then all the delusion, all the which comes from the ignorance, then Jemaripa, holding the I as a truly existent. So the root of samsara is only the ignorance, holding the I as truly existent, holding the I as truly existent is appeared. You see, that's root samsara. Not anything blame flower truly existent or believing nuts truly existent. Not the root of samsara is holding the I as truly existent while not, holding the ego as truly existent while not, not the other truly existent. So anyway, so against the ignorance of that's how the wisdom realizes emptiness, eradicates the root of samsara, the ignorance. Then, because that for all the delusion came from that, so that eradicates all the rest, ignorance, wrong concept. That's quotation from Nagarjuna, but I don't remember now. That is yeah, like that. Okay, yeah. Good thing. Yeah, you're a good heart to all the sentient things. Yes, you can think that the God is good. Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm talking about the benefits of thinking emptiness. All about that. So very, very important. So important. So that's when you have a problem, then you think emptiness. When you have a problem in daily life, and then think emptiness, and then problem goes away. So, for example, I was saying, when somebody make you to get angry, or you get angry to somebody, then suddenly you think, the I, your I, is what exists, your I that which exists. is merely labeled by the mind. Suddenly you think that. Your I is merely labeled by the mind. Suddenly you mention that. You think that. Suddenly you think. Then, no, you see, the anger is gone. Anger is gone. The anger is wrong concept comes from the ignorance. So, you see, believing that I exists, not merely, but I exist from its own side, truly, or real I. So, there, mere name, not real I, not real thing, mere name. Then, there's no place for anger. There's no reason to rise anger. There's no reason to rise anger. Anger goes away. You see? No purpose. So, you see, then you want your mind distracted from that, the real I, the ignorance and believing, you see, I don't like this. He's telling me this. He told me this. He looked at me this way. Like this. He looked at me like this, keeping the nose in the sky. What to say? Bring down you. I mean, harm me. This is real I. Then you get angry. So that mean this I, your I is merely labeled. But not anything there. Reality, which is true, real. Anger goes away. So like that, it brings great peace in your life, even in the daily life. Besides free from samsara, and that's the only one which directly ceases the delusion, negative imprint of delusion, and achieving subtle development, achieving total cessation, obscurity, completion, realization, enlightenment. So like that. One more? Yeah.
У меня вопрос о шансах буддизма в современном мире. Я поясню, что я имею в виду. Я сразу извиняюсь, если это вопрос смущающий. Тем не менее, меня он смущает. Значит, в Тибете была масса реализованных учителей, которые умели управлять реальностью, достигли высоких уровней. Они познали пустотность. Пришли непустотные китайцы, перерезали шестую часть населения и выгнали прекрасных пустотных учителей из их родных мест. С одной стороны, тибетские учителя сделали из этого лимона лимонад, Далай-лама стал глобальным лидером. С другой стороны, есть подозрение, что это не было в планах тибетских учителей. Они, познавая пустотность, не доглядели простую вещь, которая произошла под их носом, что у них под носом возникла агрессивная культура, которая не собирается ничего познавать, а собирается их завоевать. Что она сделала? Вчера лама сказал, что тибетская молодежь смотрит назад. Это другая вещь, которую они тоже как бы не предусматривают. Это глобализация. И молодежь, как бы у нее есть биология, кроме возвышенных целей. И ее биология говорит: хочу самореализоваться, хочу хорошего секса, хочу достичь чего-то, хочу хорошую машину и так далее. Они, сложно найти большие массы людей, которые хотят 300 миллионов в ближайших кайф медитировать, чтобы потом полностью самоотречься, достигнув просветления. Основная масса хочет успеха в этой жизни. И западная культура это предоставляет. Поэтому вы лишаетесь своей молодежи. Третий пункт. Сейчас идет цифровая революция. В ближайшие 30 лет прогноз состоит в том, что у нас у всех будут импланты, чипы, наше здоровье, наши мозги и наше все остальное будет зависеть от цифровых технологий. Цифровые технологии делают непросветленные люди. Они хотят общего, абсолютного знания, которое происходит при просветлении. Но вторая вещь, которую хотят, это не забота о живых существах и не любовь, они хотят контроля. У игнорирует простые социальные процессы, которые, вышибают его из реальности, из возможности влиять на умы людей. Мы рискуем остаться в очень большом меньшинстве, если мы вообще останемся.
So briefly speaking, the question is, what are the opportunities for Buddhism in our modern time? Yes, I definitely will. But briefly speaking, and if we come down to the point, the question is about perspectives of the Buddhism in the modern world and those challenges that Buddhism meets in the modern world. And there are three quite long examples. The first was about Tibet and China, because Tibetan people, they were meditating on emptiness, and they had a society that was based on monasteries, meditation, and so on. But then Chinese people came who were not much interested in emptiness meditation, and they just occupied Tibet. And those spiritual people from Tibet, they were not prepared that somebody will just come. They were too absorbed with their emptiness meditation. They were not prepared.
Who observed meditation? Tibetan people.
Yeah. They were not prepared that Chinese people will come and invade them. Or another challenge is that, as you mentioned yesterday, nowadays we have Western society where all these desires can be fulfilled, and of course you mentioned that young Tibetan people, of course they also want to fulfill their desires, and of course people have all these possible kinds of desires, and not everyone is willing to meditate on emptiness for 300,000 eons or something. And therefore nowadays we have all these opportunities of the material world. And then the third challenge is now all this modern digital computer and so on technologies and all these chipsets and digital devices and
chipsets.
Chip is chip. So there are some sort of implants in the, for instance, skin or brain of people in future that might control. For instance, I have some device, some chip in my hand or in my brain or somewhere else, and then, for instance, government would be able to control what I'm doing, where I'm going, and so on. And in the future, all this type.
You don't control the government.
I don't, but the government controls me. And of course, all those people who are working on these technologies.
You can't control the government. You have some machine to control your mind.
Then, for instance, police or government can control what I am doing.
Then?
It becomes like a society of total control, because all these people who are working with these high technologies, they're not interested in Dharma, they're not interested in meditation on emptiness, they're only interested in the control power and so on. And then we have all these difficulties in our society, and given them, is there any chance for Buddhism? Are there any people who will be interested in Buddhism if there are so many other things and problems happening?
Yes. Three questions? Two questions? Two or three?
The question is basically, what is the perspective of the Buddhism? What are the chances of the Buddhism to survive and develop in the modern world?
Chance of surviving in the modern world.
For the Buddhism, for the Dharma.
For that, I give an answer. Nowadays, his Holiness has been doing for many years mind science, Tibetan Buddhism and the science, Western science. For many years doing the concentration, how it is Western science, the Tibetans, the Buddhist, the Buddha teach, there's science, inner science. So this it has been going very successfully. Learn Western science, to learn more and more, and also many Tibetan geshes, lamas learned Western science, and so there's been great success, but development. And another answer. So Buddhism is a Buddha Dharma. You see, the science become very profound, more profound, closer to Buddhism. This proved closer to Buddhism. So like that. That has to be understood. Second, the country, America, Australia, other countries, that's a country, of course. Russia is also, but I think the America and Australia and there are many other countries, but those two, such as America, it's a materially, developed country, the materially developed country. So Buddhism is one of the religions that have fast grown, or how to say, spread, fast growing, developing, or fast growing, or developing, spreading, America and Australia and other countries. So it is very, such as America, very highly developed country. But Buddhism is always growing, not degenerating, but always growing. Especially the educated people, especially the Western educated people, finding more and more useful Buddhism. You have to know that. You have to know that. Overall, when you look at the world, this is what's happening. So that's how Buddhism is it seems in the material country what really Buddhism is what. You see, it's very checking mind, and you know that even outside things, when you go through very subtle science, very subtle, all the close to Buddhism. You have to know that. This is so much as for years it's been proved, it's been developed. You have to know that. Like that. And I tell you, there are many government people, individuals, not the government, but government official people who learn Buddhism. There are many government official people in England and other countries who have learned Buddhism. You have to know that. Of course, 1963, around that, many young people, that the explosion of hippies. Explosion like volcano, but so like that, the explosion of hippies, 1963. So you see, many young people revolt the material life, and they go to India, Nepal to look for new happiness. They're fed up with the Western life, the materialist life. They go to Nepal, India to look for new happiness, new meaning of life. So there was only 3 books. Minerva's life story somehow became known. Minerva's life story translated. And then Padma Turtle, the Padma Turtle is a book about intermediate stage. That translated. And then there's a Lojong Ramba book. That's a long time ago, Lojong Ramba. In the old times, around 1960, when Lama Yeshe gave a public talk in Australia, America, there are many people. And then first question, this very early, you see, 1963, around those times, you see, most people come, they don't know what Tibetan Lama is. They don't know what Tibetan Lama is. So they come with the expectation, what how it looks like Tibetan Lama, you know? Never met. Most people say, so Tibetan Lama. Sorry, I didn't give the answer about it, the Tibetan China, the thing. I remember that. So, what I was talking about? Yeah, what's his name? Lojong Ramba. The first question they would ask Lama, when the question answer time, the first question, do you know Lojong Ramba? That's the first question. Do you know Lojong Ramba? Because I think the book has been quite widely spread in the West, somehow, in Europe, I think Australia. Very common as Lojong Ramba, during those times. Astral trip. I think he opened that eye and he went to Tibet, but not with his body, but the mind. Went to Tibet, astral trip, and so people are very interested, Western people into that. I don't remember what Lama said. I don't remember what he answered. So there was 3 books. So you see, now we started 168, 67 centers. 167 or 8 meditation centers. That includes the ones also in the East, in India and Nepal, mostly West. So including what's happened in Russia, I think. So 167, 8 centers. So this is how this happened. This was very first. Many times I go to see either TB classes, TB, either TB. I was at Baksa who escaped from Tibet. I was born in Nepal, Himalayan mountain, and so went a very small time to Tibet, and lived 3 years in Tibet, and did puja for 3 years in people's houses. It's like it's like a social public service. It's kind of that. It's everyday family houses to puja. So then escaped. Tibet was already overtaken by mainland China 9 months ago. And then our place is close to Bhutan, so it's near the border. So things happen slowly. What happened in middle of Tibet, like that. So I escaped through Bhutan to Baksa. It's a concentration camp during when India was under British control. When India was under British control, and this is a place where Mahatma Gandhi was the president, and the Mahatma Jawaharlal Nehru was president. This is the place where so many people killed and imprisoned. This place. Well, I was there for 8 years, studying Buddhist philosophy, but I was very young and sort of playing and I don't know what you call the study, but Yeah, my first time studying Buddhist philosophy from my qualified teachers. First one, Geshe Rattan Rinpoche, who was very learned, very pure in morality, and good-hearted. For all three qualities, so many disciples. Then his disciples, the Lama Yeshe, was his disciple. That you see, so I got sick many times, and because the condition, because you see, the place is very, where Mahatma Gandhiji was present was building with so many wires around, and through the story is high, and so was that. And then nuns stay, Tibetan nuns stayed there. Nuns became nunnery later during our time. And then when Jawaharlal Nehru was president, became Sarah Gadadribun, this is the largest monastery in Tibet, you know. I mean, study Buddhist philosophy, in this world, all the study, all an ocean, so extensive, Sutra and Tantra. And study the deepest, you know. So you see, from there, the Mongolia, Buddhism became there, the spread. The great High Lamas came, third Lama, I think, Sakya Pandit, the great Lama. And I think it's seventh Lama came. So anyway, so much spread Buddha in Mongolia. Many learned geshes, so expert learned geshes, who has a Lamrim Chemo, the Lama Tsongkhapa Lamrim commentary by heart. Many geshes happened. So, so when he was president, John Nehru president, is become Sarah monks, the Sarah Chen man. So it's very long room. Very long room. So here beds, go to the monk's bed, very long. Then beds, not widely this. Then also there's some place where to puja, or the monks sit. Or the monks live with the same place with the monks there, and also from outside come and also debate sometimes inside and all night, you know, like that. Outside the place debate, you know, discussion, the philosophy, but also is inside. Also we use puja, sitting, all the monks come inside, you know, to do puja, or sit on the bed, sit on the floor. And so then also the barren outside, you know, there's a ditch, where the water goes, ditch. Then there's before the ditch, there's a wire, and the wall, and the wall, there's the wall, or the house, and then there's a barbed wire, there's small space. So there's also a bed, this a small space. So there's also a bed this side, there's also a bed other side, so it goes like that. So, so my teacher, Geshe-Rattan, is way up there, the other end, there, very high bed, bamboo, from forest, bamboo curtain. So then come into the main gate. Then you go. It's outside, not inside the building. Outside, because I have, you know, the dry name, Rinpoche or Incan Lama, something like that. So then they put me Lama Yeshe. That time I didn't. That time wasn't didn't make connection yet. This was after a long time. So he was the nearest one sitting on the bed. They lifted me and put on the Geshe Rinpoche's bed. Because I just dry name, in Kandalama. So then the very close bed, there's a Lama Yeshe, who has Tibetan long text, is a big text, long one on the table. Then so devoted to Geshe Rinpoche, like that. Anyway, so I was sick. I got sick many times. So I came to Darjeeling many times for treatment and treatment, holidays or treatment, like that. And then so I was staying in Wum Monastery. The Troma Geshe Rinpoche, the great Lama, the first one's a great yogi, who lived in the forest, and I think the 80 snowball man, or the gulliras, or the bring fruit inside. So like that. So came from Tibet, from Zhang. The teacher, the great Lama, had several disciples, great Lamas. He educated them, trained them, practiced, meditated for years. Then he sent one there. Where it was, one said, you cannot benefit others, but you can practice yourself. I said, that Troma Geshe Rinpoche grave, he said, you can benefit so much. You can benefit if you go to east side and benefit so many sentient beings. So he was sent near Sikkim, Yatong, Tromo is near Sikkim. So he was sent there. So he was living in the forest like that. Then a sheep herd went, big family sheep herd went. So sometimes monk coming out, sometimes gorillas going inside. So then he told the family. Then the family said, invite down. Then next day he went up there and he saw the monk, and he requested to move down in the family house. Then he accepted. So after 1 year, then he asked the family to build a monastery. So in Tibet, it was in Tibet, Tromotungakumba. That's the place where I became monk, not in Nepal, in Tibet. So this the one monastery in Darjeeling, and this is branches of the monastery in Tibet. There were 2 monasteries, Gum. One is built by Indian government and something like that. I don't know the story. But a new one, where the monks they live, came from Tibet and like that. The monastery, Troma Geshe, the monastery. So anyway, one time my teacher Lama Yeshe was there in the room, which room that belonged to where my teacher and the other teacher who helped me in Tibet became monk at Troma Geshe monastery, and who brought me to the puja for every people's houses 3 years, and who led me to memorize the text that you offer, they recite by heart in the monastery, in the public, with the other monks. No, you alone recite. You have to offer examination. So I memorize the text in the morning and the evening time. So that so I helped to become monk at Troma Geshe monastery, and that brought me to Bhutan, to India. That. So in this room we were staying. Then there was one monk, Duta. Duta is later on he lived in Kalmyk for many years. He taught he was leading the Lojong, the Vinaya practice, and the reviving, the purifying the Lojong and the monastery. And he taught Dharma for so many years in college. Yeah, so he was there, the Duta. He was there. He speaks some English, some few words. So he thought, this lady is my friend, he thought. So because her name is Princess Zina. I think there must be some, I don't know what happened, some problem happened in Russia, and her father was king, and there was some revolutionary happened, I think. So she's a Russian. So let's start from her. So that's the monk Duta opened the door, not completely, little side, opened. Oh, he's your friend. Then she came, blonde hair, and she was wearing Tibetan sweater, but there was sold at bus station and dirtily market bus station. You see, simple sweater, blonde hair, like that. And then she came inside. So actually she came not for us to look for Trungpa-Geshe's, but she does not pass by, I think. Because she read Lama Govinda book, the one book that was available a long time ago, 3 books. And one of the books, Lama Govinda, German professor, wrote this book. He went in Tibet. He met Trungpa-Geshe, the great yogi. I don't know how much training he received. So he tells a story. And so she came look for Trungpa-Geshe, but monk misunderstood, is my friend. So then she came inside. Then my teacher, not Lama, the other one, put a big mark like that, what the monks drink tea, big mark. Then a big kettle, the Tibetan tea, the monastery tea, offered full. Then she drank. That day she drank completely. And then since from that time, for many years, I never saw her drink Tibetan tea at all. It wasn't rich, tasty, rich, delicious, rich Tibetan tea. It wasn't. It was common tea, public tea. So like that. So came for 1 hour to discuss with Lama. I know some English words, and then I tried to translate for Lama, and so that. Then after 1 month, she invited to come to Darjeeling at her house. We were not inside house. She was inside, but we were outside in the garden, the small house with glasses around. There's Lama. Between us, there's one table like this, maybe a little bit wider. Lama is there, myself, there's the drawer. All around the glasses, window. So this is our Indian rich family. In the afternoons, the 12 tea, 12 rest and 12 tea, things like that. So anyway, so 9 months we lived like that. And then she went to Sri Lanka, and we went to Buxa. And then we were supposed to come to Sri Lanka to start Mahayana Center. Of course, that time the India government, Russia, it was not good. So it didn't happen that. Going to Sri Lanka didn't happen. Of course, not all the monks and gentlemen would not like that in Sri Lanka. So anyway, then the Lama said, go to Nepal. Then it started like that, government monastery. Lama built a monastery. I built a lot of monastery at the same time. So like that. So from there, then we started a course. A special 1 month course. I mean, there's a 15 days course, 1 week course is there. There's one nun from Sweden, and Karen, she leads all the time. Then the abbot or geshes there sometimes give talk. But 1 month, we used to do 2-month course. 2-month course each year. Then when we start to travel to the West, students invited, whether so. But then it didn't happen 2 months, 1 month, each year 1 month meditation course. So then you see, then students find the teaching beneficial to their mind, to their life. And then you see, they come back to their country, then they talk to their friends. That's how the center slowly starts to center. The now 168 or 7 centers. That's because happened because we met a Russian lady. The first one, the first student, Russian lady, Princess Zina. But she lived in France. Her family grew in France, and then she lived in America, married, and she lived everywhere, many places, and she lived poor, she lived rich, all kinds of life. That you see. So it started from Russian lady. Her name is Rychevsky, Princess Richard. Her father was a king, and the revolution happened in Russia. Like that. The stories are very funny. Stories are very funny. So it started by Geshe Ruda, who lived in Kanglik for many years, taught Sudha Tantra to many students for many years. Many years. I think he died two years ago. He would be so happy if I met him in Kanglik, but he died earlier, before I came. Okay, a good idea, Buddhism in the modern time. Oh, that fits very well, goes very good. So I said many high-educated Western Americans, they learn Buddhism. There are many who learn Buddhism, who even government people who are Buddhist in England, like that. Many places. Like that. And the scientifically also, more they check goes subtle, more subtle, then we take close to Buddhism. Like I think the contrast or then I forgot the name. Contrast. So it looks like there are things, and they're like atoms or things. Looks like there are things, but when you examine in details, it's not there. When you examine, there's things like that. For example, in the Western science, so that goes with Buddhism. Oh, like that. Oh, I think since the Buddhism is only one, the science, Western science goes with it. Oh, more finer, close to Buddhism. So there's a lot to learn about mind, yet still. Now about Tibet. You see, in 1963, around those early times, you see, in the West, every Tibetan, non-Buddhist monk living lay, as long as the person is called Tibetan, In the West, people believe it's great yogi. Around those times, everybody believes it's Tibetan, it's great yogi. Sort of that's the common what people think in the West. Who knows, who heard about Tibet. Because there are books, talking about the great yogis. So I think they think all Tibetans like that. You see? So similar, now you think all Tibetan people mentioned on emptiness. Similar like that, you think all the Tibetan people know the emptiness. You understand? All the Tibetan people meditate. Maybe they're born with that understanding. Tibetan people born with that understanding emptiness. Maybe like that. Maybe they don't need to be taught. They know. By birth, they know. and then talking, but maybe you think like that. By birth, by being born in Tibet, shunyata, into this. So, not like that. Yes, there are lay people and monks, usually I think monks, mostly monks, they are also lay people, but I think the most monks commonly who study Dharma extensive in the monasteries. It's like university. Sarakat and Jebung, then within that, two colleges. So then there's a Dashil monastery, Benjalaman. Then there's Amto, that's a great monasteries. Kumbum and Dashichil and like that. Kumbum is a Lamatsong Ups monastery. Oh, things like that. So this is the Lamatsong Up tradition monastery, Gulpa, Lamatsong so extensive knowledge, like ocean, peaceful ocean, extensive knowledge. Then there's a particular upper Tantra college, lower Tantra college, until you finish Geshe. Then you go there, you study Tantra, and all the all the meaning, all the meaning of that. They are very important scriptures you have to learn by. How to order start meaning on sin, mental life, many things. So they are government monastery, Lama Juba. The government monastery has a Tantra college, and they all learn San Mandala, and have to memorize many prayers and learn all the, learn everything they do. Chanting, then the mudras, everything, also you're supposed to also understand the meaning, so then now of course you learn the path. So this is so you follow the tradition, the cultural, Lama Tsongkhapa, the disciple, that you don't mix it all like you do. Anybody thinking, anybody you see, get an idea and do things and all kind of one person do different, another person do not like that. So you follow tradition, the Lord Tantra, Abba Tantra, everything is very precise. In chanting, doing everything very, very precise. Like that, you see. So you see, yes. But again, being monk doesn't mean everybody learn about emptiness. It doesn't mean that. It's only the monasteries where you have a study of philosophy. Being monk doesn't mean, just being monk doesn't mean you learn that. So it's up to the monk's life. So studying philosophy, that studying Lambrim, then even statics, you learn very extensive. So so I related the 1963 like that is the time when the people in the West think every Tibetan is a great yogi. Then you're talking now, every Tibetan is emptiness. But when China came and to go to Tibet, the girl didn't do the meditation, the emptiness by coming to Tibet. So anyway, you see, it's like this. Third Dalai Lama, since before 14th Dalai Lama, before 13th Dalai Lama, one before, predicted for Tibetan people what to do, gave the government explanation. But since maybe didn't get to really the public, the government, of course there are individual people who follow, but I think the public, maybe the government, didn't get to follow. Public, the government, you see. So things like that. And then I think then the mistakes happened. Going back time to time in the past, the mistakes happened. You see, they were related with the government and with the people, with the officials and things like that. You see, in the past, during times. So even the sixth Dalai Lama time, Khandala Dhamsala, Khandala says that even seventh Dalai Lama's time, there's no sixth Dalai Lama time, that's all time, then you see. Yeah, that's, so you see, that's kind of mistakes happened. So the Tibetan government, well, he had very high tantric realizations, able to control drops, when the wind drops, and total power. So then you see, in the ordinary aspect, he had very high tantric power, also realizations. So we went to the prostitute homes in Lhasa, something like that. So so the government, you see, didn't. I think the government, not the High Lama like sixth Lama or like those who were the high realization or things maybe not that, maybe ordinary people, but in the high government position. So, anyways, maybe kicked out the sixth Dalai Lama after that. And then, I think they, I don't know what they did. I think maybe try to give trouble to the sixth Dalai Lama and things like that. You see, it's kicked out. So there things happened at different times. So all those causes, I think you see, hard, very hard. to very hard to get the middle way, what he wished. What he wished, land belonged to time. Land looked after by mainland Chinese, but the Tibetans themselves have their own freedom. You see, but land looked after by mainland China. So this is what he was asking. But the Chinese government, they don't listen, and they don't accept. So far like that. So far like that. So that's taking much time and difficulties. Because I think in different times in the past, when Tibet was free, there was a different time of mistakes by the government and things like that. So this, so basically it's karma. So you see, whatever problem related to us in this life, then it came from our past karma, negative things we did, and then so therefore we experience difficulties in this life. So it's something, whether it's government, whether it's yourself, is something. So then you see, of course it can change, but if you do things, if you create cause conditions, the right ones, positive cause conditions, the right one, then of course can change. As it can change. So same thing for Tibet. Same thing for Tibet and independence, or the middle way, what is the young people, they're looking for independence, but I think he's always not looking for independence, he's looking for middle way. This land taken care by mainland China, but Tibetan people themselves have their own freedom. So like that. So okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So okay, there's 1 hour left. Sorry, I talked a long time. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, actually, also going to the motivation, they bring the perfect image, but all those, how this is so precious to, not this time, no time. So, okay, I have received a perfect image birth and met Dharma as well. Met then I'm not counting myself, but you see His Holiness Dalai Lama, the many people met His Holiness, and many of the qualified great teachers, and all that. You see, this time. This is just about one time that this happened to you. All that this during this time, and then not just yourself to achieve even liberation from samsara, literal state of peace for oneself, not just that. Then, must free numberless sentient beings who was meant to yourself suffering samsara. From beginningless rebirth and endless also. If you don't practice Dharma, if you don't meet Dharma, don't practice Dharma, don't realize the wisdom directly perceive anything. So therefore, you see, free the numberless sentient beings from samsara and bring them to Buddhahood, peerless happiness, the total cessation, obscuration, completion, realization, Buddhahood, and by myself alone. And therefore, that must be Tibetan enlightenment. Therefore, then, don't to listen to the teaching. the Lojong. Okay. So, there's a few things to mention. So from yesterday's talk, so I did not pacify yesterday. So you see, you are, when you die, you are attached to your family, your possession, your body. So then that causes to be born Lord realm. That I did not pacify yesterday. I mentioned the stories, but I did not pacify like that. You see, that is not known in the West, and not known in the Western society. Government or Western society is not known. Even though it is known individually by those who met Buddhism or those who have clairvoyance, but not common knowledge by the society, not known by society, not accepted by society, not by government. So I want to tell this story. In the past, with the Buddha's disciple, Shariputra, it is not here. Usually there's Buddha statue, then the two statues are standing. You see, usually Sharipu and one man Gojipu. So Sharipu, I think, was going for alms, I think. So he saw one family. So what happened was, you see, their father died, mother died. The son is there, still there. So father used to catch fish from backside to leg. Catch fish, eat fish. So what happened? Because of that, the father died and born as a fish backside. And the son catch the fish, which is the father, past my father. So was eating the the flesh of the meat of the fish, and the mother was attached to the family, to the home. Mother's attached to the home. So she died. When she died, so she was born as a dog to the family. She was born as a dog to the family. So the dog is waiting for the bone, And what he gets is only bone, doesn't get the flesh, meat, fish meat, doesn't get only bone. So he's waiting in the front, like this, So the son was holding a stick to be the dog. So the dog, comes on the foot. He see the mother, his mother. So his enemy was attached to his wife. So attached to his wife. so his enemy was born to her. enemy died and born to her. So he was carrying a child on his lap. That was the enemy who was attached to his wife and born to her. So like that, you see. So you see, Sharipu said, Pasha Saching Malato, Jeve Jabo Bandugo, Kovecho la Gemocho. So what he's saying is that eating father's meat, Pasha Saching Malato, with the mother, Jeve Jabo Bandugo. The enemy born to him, enemy that is born, he was carrying on the lap. Enemy that is born to him, carrying on the lap, you see. And not to his wife, so to him, you see. Carrying on the lap. Koyacha the Gemodros. So this is Korowa Samsara, like this. Samsara is like this. Reality. That's the reality. You know, that's it. So we never think of past spiritual life. So see, then no connection. Cat and dog, cow, horse, whatever you have, like nothing to do. No relationship. We're human being. I'm a human being. There, you know, like that. See, no relationship. So see, like that. So we never think past. We never think past lives, future lives. So courage for the Gemara. I laugh at the samsara existence. That's what Sharipu, Buddha's disciple, true arahats who are free from samsara, actually path and then became free from samsara. So Sharipu said that. So therefore, you see, like that. If you die with the attachment at the time of death, you see, in the West, as I mentioned yesterday, in the West, you see, even you don't go to see the person you don't like, or the person don't like you don't like that person. So normally you don't go to see, oh, he's dead, oh, I go to see him. You see, not necessarily that helping him. He might get more angry when he dies. That time he might get more angry, or if it's somebody that he attached to you, you go there, he gets so much attached to you. He makes his death very difficult, and to be born in not a high realm, because motivation non-virtue, so attachment. So then get reborn in the hell, animals, like that. It's like the story. The father used to catch fish, eat. That's that. He was born as fish. So many times he's a fisherman. Many times fishermen are like Finland or these, or Thailand or many places. So many places near the ocean. Was, they have a small cottage. The cottage was their house. Every day they cut the sea animals, every day sea animals catch and then eat, sell. Every day like that means the means of living. The fishermen go there and they fish and so eat. So what happens? They have no idea. They have no idea, no understanding karma. Nothing, so past, present. So actually, you see, what fish they catch. Those fish are your families, past your families. What you catch, what you catch and what you eat, those fish are your families. Your past families. So with a circle. Then you see, When you are born already there, that's it. Didn't get purified karma, negative karma before, so you got born. That's it. You have to suffer. How many lifetimes? For even, or I don't know how many lifetimes to be born fish. Until the karma finish, you have to born fish. Again. Lord, those are so suffer. No matter how much you don't want trouble, you have to suffer. Get killed and all that. Who are hook in the mouth and can't go away. Alive. The cut. So I met one American man at the beach after the beach, and I met one man just maybe this year, I'm not sure. So he went to our center, one of our center, Land Medicine Buddha. There's three prayer well, 3 large prayer well, 2 large prayer well, this size, but there are fish inside. Many billion, not trillion, but many billion, 60 billion or something, fish in the Omani Payment inside. Then there was another big prayer well, much bigger than different mantras. Those who want to develop wisdom can turn. Those who want to long life can turn. There's a different mantra inside. Those who want a success, whatever business, what success is, turn, or you can turn to the prayer or for different purposes. There's inside the different mantras. So anyway, the statues, the place is very blessed. So many people come, they like the place. Many old people come, they like the place so much. So he went to the Land of Medicine Buddha, he told us. He went to Land of Buddha, he liked very much. And yesterday, he came there, and he got a fish, big fish. He said, so beautiful, he said. He said, so beautiful, this fish. With the gold color, but of course, so beautiful he ate. he catch it, he ate. So anyway, you see, we have dogs and cats and whatever animal, donkeys or horses or cows or. Actually, the reason why you are with them, why they are with you, is they are your families, they are your past families, and they are your past families. So it's like that, like this story I explained, like that, or like that. So, so therefore, I said, I did one retreat, Dhammsala, one retreat. And for that retreat, I came to remember that in the early times we had dogs, we had little dogs, and so it's up to the cook whether to give a food or not, but up to the cook. So we don't think much of the dog. It's up to the cook, the young monk, who cook. Kitchens will give food and they get food. And if you didn't give them, they don't get food. So my concern was the animals we had in the early times. They didn't get taken care well. So that was my kind of concern during the retreat. Tushita, during the retreat was like that. We had the small dogs, but didn't get really pay attention well. So it's up to the cook. So that was our concern. So we need to take care of them well, not just think it's animal, and not just think it's animal. So those are past families. So that's really need to pay attention. So depending on how you take care of them, it affects you in so many future lives and 100,000 millions of if you do bad, if you do bad things, treat badly, or then it affects you so many lifetimes. You will badly treated. So if you do good things, if you treat well, then you'll have so much success. All your wishes get succeed, and you'll have so from 100,000. Well, so much. So like that. As I told you already. So it's very important. Very important. There's a reason. There's a definite reason why you're with him, why they're with you. Have to take care of them. That's really important. Take care of them, not what you think, but what they need. Not you make some philosophy, you make some idea, or not that, but what they need. See, so that's so I want to clarify that because I didn't clarify the other day. Oh, then how do then we see. One thing I mentioned: you sleep when you die. You see. I mean, there are many people who see in meditation position, die in meditation position, and they were able to meditate was able to meditate. With the subtle, extremely subtle mind. There's mind, gross mind, subtle mind, extremely subtle mind. Express amount of Kerala, you see, when that happens in the indestructible seed in the center channel, the heart. From where you see heart, not this pumping heart, the heart from where anger comes, from where compassion rises. Anger doesn't come from here. You see, in the West, there's everything concentrated brain, but anger. But you must say, very simple. Anger doesn't come from here. Anger comes from here. Compassion doesn't come from here. Compassion comes from here. You see? You have to understand. Oh, that's the heart. That where the anger comes, compassion, where the attachment doesn't come from here. Attachment comes from here. When you are attached to something, you see. Right. So you see there's center channel, and here so here there's the indestructible seed. Indestructible seed. You see, so that's indestructible, not forever, but until death. Since the consciousness conceived in mother's womb on the fertilized egg, sperm egg, you see, then conscience takes place there. So that's that very place where the conscience in the heart. And so you see, so that the clear light. This is the white sperm comes down. The red sperm goes up. The red one from navel goes up. They meet the intestinal seed. Then meet, then separate. You see, then cloud. All that with those who are able to meditate with that cloud. You see, then you see, who are able to use tongue three parts. So anyone who is able to meditate, so you see a few days, 1 week, even can be 1 hour, or a few days, 1 week, or then, for example, his Dalai Guru past life, but I think 28 days was meditation, something like that, 18 days. There are many monks in Sera who meditate, like this, who meditate. Many they pass away in meditation, and the 7 days of that. Then some monks they meditate for many days, even 28 or something. There's one Kadampa, the regent of Lama Tsongkhapa, not this present. The just recent one is a Rizong Rinpoche. Now he become ex. Before that, Kadampa, regent of Lama Tsongkhapa, was very learned, and he was meditation when he passed away. He was meditation for 28 days for the meditation. That's the meditation. Then some passed away. Some passed away because in the Buddha laying down the lying position, snow lying position. Snow lying position. So like this is such this is it. So you see that I forgot yesterday. So if you sleep in that way, like Buddha Pasma, then spirit cannot harm you. I only said nightmare last night. Nightmare cannot come. It cannot happen. But the spirit, you see there are people who are harmed by spirit nighttime. They see, for example, I don't know what comes. Spirit spirit that makes you unfunctionable. What you call? Unfunctionable. You can't function. The spirit press you and then can't function. So that anyway. So if you sleep that way, then it helps. It protects from spirit harm. So like that. So it's very good. Then you see, if you do like that, or when you die, then you can. It's very easy to remember that, to die that. There are many meditators that are also like that. Then it comes to the yesterday. I didn't remember the verse. So the verse like this is very good to write down. Kyo Kangshi Chivi says, Lama Kechik Tenjo na, Hoa Nanji Chotu Yo. Kyo Ten Yungan Changja. So what they're saying is, Kyo Kangshi Chivi says, any person when he dies, if you can remember Guru 1 second, it becomes the best. It becomes the best power. Power is transparent consciousness from here to the Pure Land. Pure Land to Buddha. Power naga choto yu. Gyewa ten yungan changja is. Gyewa ten yungan changja means that living being. Gyewa means capable being. That capable being, and then then will become enlightened. So this good to remember that. But of course, but here I want to tell. But of course, if you have a guru whom you are angry, but of course, if a guru whom you are angry to, very angry to, you see. So this, because usually you're supposed to have supposed to be great devotion to the guru, by looking at the Buddha, by looking at the Buddha, you see, like that, you see. There's all the quotations, the logics and quotations. So there's casually. Of course, it's not advertising. I'm Buddha. No, please don't think that. I'm not advertising. I'm Buddha. Don't know that. You see, I'm just specifying. So if some situation you are that you guru, this guru, what you have, whom you have, is the whom you angry most. And if something that you see, then you don't see Buddha. So then you get angry. Buddha, this means guru, whom you're looking at it Buddha, able to look at it Buddha. So remember, if you remember 1 second, then it's the best power, transferring consciousness Pure Land. Capable being, then it's enlightenment. So then, born in Pure Land, Pure Land, some Pure Land, then you achieve enlightenment there. Or you achieve enlightenment there, even you don't enlighten that life, but afterwards, after one lifetime, then become enlightened. I think Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, you don't become enlightened that life, but maybe after one life, after the next life, you become enlightened, maybe like that. So as I mentioned, the Vajrayogini, Hiruka, those Pure Lands, and there's some Pure Lands where you become enlightened there. So, that is not, you see, then the prayers, as I mentioned, you see, Molam top power prayers, those, you see, then you pray to Guru, there you see, so you made a prayer to Guru, so even to do the Bodhicitta, but you see, you pray to Guru, as well as that, you see. Not the Guru in the world, other people Guru, but your Guru, from whom you received the capital initiative, or the commentary, or the old transmission, or even pure words, teachings, all that, you see, receive Dharma connection. So there is thinking that you are disciple, that's Guru. Tenja lame chingi, so in the lame chimo, lama tongaba, also that is it. So one thing I mentioned is I replied to the here gentleman's question, but of course I want to emphasize, of course. So, for example, you brought the text, and so I told a long story, and then however, and that's an incredible opportunity for you to make charity and six parameters to achieve enlightenment, and one of them is charity. And so, then with the bodhicitta motivation, you see. So here, because you make charity for something with the bodhicitta, then you collect merit more than like sky. More than sky. Sky is limitless. Then you collect merit more than like sky. You see, more than like sky. You have to understand specifically. You collect merit by making charity. Even what is 1 rupee or whatever it is, you see. As I mentioned before. Merit, all like that. You collect. So, if it's 1 rupee, $1, So with each dollar you could made it like more than sky. It was done with the Buddhist motivation, that charity, like that, you see. Then well, by the way, I would like to mention, you see, sometimes, your motivation of doing business, you see, dharma, not on dharma, bodhicitta, to benefit sentiment. You see, but the business went down. Financial, didn't make money, you lost money, but your motivation, dharma, not only dharma, bodhicitta motivation, to benefit sentiment, to achieve enlightenment, to enlighten all sentient beings. You see, so money went down, but you collect merit like sky, or more than like sky. So, more than like sky. Buddhist motivation. Merit you collect merit from where the success comes, from where happiness comes. Or the merit, you see, unbelievable. But the present, not all the business, but present, this year business, this month of business, didn't make money. Financially went down. You see, this can happen. So actually, in that way, you see, you are gaining. You are not losing. You are gaining. The actual gaining is there. You collect merit from where success comes, from where happiness comes. This life, in all the future lives, you collect merit more than skies of merit. You see, with the bodhicitta motivation, the business, So unbelievable. So you see, even now, this month or this week or this year, even you didn't have money was going to go, even though it went down. So also like that. So actually, it's gaining. There's no losing. Like that, you see, real gain. Then sometimes, even the business is going down, but you see, you develop your realization. But we have one student, Maximo is Italian. Maximo, his family is a second rich, wealthy family in Italy. And so at the end, all the responsibility came on him. To his brother and his parents, all the business came on him. So Maximo Karuna is a Lama, is our student. So he's the one who offered land for Lama Tsongkhapa Institute in Italy, where we have we do basic program, master program, and now also the what he set up science, the Catholic. What science? With Pisa University. With Pisa University, the science of the Buddhism, with Pisa University. There are many branches, but this is the main center in Italy, FPMT center, also like that. So he lost the business, Maximo Karuna. He lost business, but you see, he lost business, $1 million. He lost. One time he asked me about selling a house somewhere, but it was many years ago. But my observation, I don't know that time, I think came out wrong. So sometimes the observation is correct for some people, but for somebody, many times incorrect. Things like that. Deal with the karma. So anyway, he lost many $1 million. So, but then his devotion to the Guru increased, developed. And then renunciation to samsara, how the samsara nature of suffering, that increased in his mind, increased. Seeing samsara nature increase. So like that. So you see, there's a gaining. So there's actually it's gaining. It's about the realization, the gaining, real gaining, the best gaining. So that, so just and then just by the way, really, just by the way, if it helps for some people, you know, I had one mala. I had one mala for many years. How many years? Many years. I had one mala, coral, real coral. I was given by one mother of family, Chinese, I think town or Malaysia or something, yeah. So I had a long time, and recently I lost in the airplane. In the airplane, there's the way you belt, you put a belt. So there's a cord, 2 times caught with that. I think it's like, almost like signal, I think, 2 times caught. But when I was leaving, I didn't know, I was not aware. So I think the mala was staying between the seat and the handle, you know, where you put your arms. And I think it was caught in that. So they tried to contact the airline. So, but the airplane went somewhere else. But also they contacted, you know, they checked and they couldn't find. But they checked on the floor there. But I think it might be staying between. So it might help somebody if you lose things. I thought like that. So there, well, one nun told me, Chinese nun, each bead costed $4,000 or $2,000 or something. The nun told me, Chinzerong. She told me each bead costs $2,000 US dollars. I think 2,000 or 4,000 something. But that I'm not sure. But it's actually coral. It's nowadays so many false corals. One time in Taiwan, one nun's uncle gave me a coral mala. He believed it's coral. He paid a lot of money. I don't know how much he paid. He gave me, but it's not real coral. So it's not. So I think nowadays it's abandoned legally, since. And so anyway, but there's bigger ones. But the bigger ones, that might be true. That cost, I think 4,000 or 2,000 US dollars. That might be true. But I don't know the other bits. That I'm not sure. But the real coral, that's the real coral. So many years ago, I don't know. So that's you see. So they are looking for it, but at the same time, I made prayer that anyone who finds that may it cause them to fulfill all their wishes according to Dharma. All their wishes to succeed. Whoever find that, or may all their wishes be successful, succeed according to Dharma. And then I don't remember rest. Maybe not born Lord illness. I think able to achieve enlightenment as quick as possible. So that meant prayer. So if you lose, so that purpose. So I'm not boasting. I'm mentioning that as a sort. If you lose things, you may pray like that to help the other sentient being to fulfill their wishes, to fulfill all their wishes. To fulfill all their wishes according to Dharma. So nothing becomes negative karma. And that's it. then you can say it will never be reborn Lojong to exercise bodhicitta in this life, achieve enlightenment as quick as possible. So something like that, short. See, but very effective to the person who finds that. So that then, of course, not on the mala. There's been others. Well, I think like that. Well, many other stories, but I don't need to tell. So the sort of past karma, you know. Okay. So that. That is just short. Something short. The definition of Lojong, definition of torturing, I told you mentioned about. Chukun gomba chukdu, chukun gomba chukdu, all the holy dharma, you see, gomba. All the understanding, the understanding of all Dharma, holy Dharma, the understanding of all holy Dharma condensed into one. So meaning it's what Buddha has taught, how many heaps of teachings. Then you see, everything is against self-centered thought. Everything is against self-centered thought. So any action, whether it's Dharma or not Dharma, whether it's holy Dharma or not holy Dharma, even that is, you see, if your action becomes remedy to delusion, then it becomes holy Dharma. If it becomes friend, if it becomes not remedy, but it becomes friend, supportive to your delusion is not holy Dharma. So there's you see, like this, there's like this, something which, if it is Dharma, if the action becomes Dharma, whatever action you do, eating, walking, sitting, sleeping, doing jobs, or whatever, meditation, teaching, or whatever you do, if it becomes Dharma, that means it benefit, and the benefit beyond this life, all the future lives, brings happiness, it will benefit next life. It looks Dharma, but it didn't become Dharma in reality. So teaching Dharma or listening Dharma or meditation or whatever you see, outside looking Dharma, but you see, reality didn't become Dharma. So that then doesn't bring happiness, doesn't benefit next lives. So only suffering next lives. That's there's another one, but I don't remember. So anyways, like that. So the best Trubdak means, something, Trubdak means showing some sign that we achieve realization. Very high realization, showing some sign. The best one, your delusion, anger, ignorance, attachment, so forth, your delusion becomes less and less, or that's the best sign of truth. As they say, a sign of really you practice Dharma. The best sign, your delusion becomes less and less and less. Otherwise, flying, people are very excited, like so much. When somebody can fly, flying, even the bird can fly. Even the bird, even the eagles, they fly. So like that. So even the mosquito flies. The mosquitoes, the small flies, very small flies. So when I was in the Himalaya mountain, then in Sulukumbu, when I was a small child, you see in the summertime, many small flies. There's water or there's something, whatever, especially in Makaka and Dong, there's so many small flies on top of 100 or 1,000, but they rule like this. You see. So when I was a small child, I did like this. I did like this. Small child. So not my teacher was not there. It was alone. So then comes here 1, 2, not many. Well, the hand is much smaller that time. So 1, 2, something like that, 3. Then what I do, I give the body to where I sit, sleep. It's the backside. There's a piles of wood, for winter or things. So in between the corners, there's a spider webs. Spider website. So I get the body, I throw the body there, then the spider runs out. Then he put the body like this, the animal head is there, then it's bottom, from the bottom and leave the head. Maybe the head is the heart. I don't know. So I watch. So much heavy nigrama. I have to purify. I did that, I think, a few times. So anyway, I'm not sure what I'm talking this. So even they can fly, even the so tiny ones, they fly, their wing, they fly, you see. So flying is not what they're saying. Is not what we should be excited. Not that. So I heard in Sri Lanka they treated a monk who can fly. I think maybe achieved firm contemplation, something. Maybe Shini. So they treated monks. I was told by one Chinese master in Taiwan. He went to Singapore, Sri Lanka a few times. So he said he saw. But you see, of course, it doesn't mean not necessarily bodhicitta. It doesn't mean that. So it is some, some intention there. So even the mouse can go into the earth. So say, if you are excited. Even the mouse can do that. Even the fish don't have to drown. Fish can, travel in the water. So there's nothing sign of realization. So if you have done retreat, I learned this, I learned this, blah, blah, blah. But you see, if you've done retreat, like 3-year retreat or something long time, then you see the sign should be less ego, less humble, less the self-chasing thought, more humble, less pride, less attachment, you see. So then that's a very good sign. So the cherishing is true. Self-cherishing thought is bad one, but cherishing others is good. That's what is needed. So then, Omboniji Zor Sungs, I don't know the translation of this. Omboniji Zor Sungs. So in your life, mainly you follow the true, witness. I'm not sure that's correct, but I explain the meaning. So, sorry, you see, outside conduct is subdued. Your outside conduct is subdued. So that other people don't have to what do you call it? Shame or shyness? Shame. Other people don't have to repel, don't have to feel shyness, I think. Shy and shameness. Shy and shameness, maybe shyness. Telmangwa, shingi telmangwa. So outside the conduct is subdued, so other people don't have to feel shyness. And inside your life, your inner life subdued. Your inner life subdued. So your mental condition is rich of practice. Your mental condition is rich in practice. So therefore, you see, the outside is clean, outside is pure, clean. Also, your inside is clean. Inside is clean, pure. So you don't have to feel shame. So inside clean. And then, Bodhisattvas are these Tabangamba Pomeche, so they so the bad reputations, not avoiding the outside conduct, something bad, then it creates bad reputation. So then you see it harms to others' minds. To others' minds. So you don't, you be careful. You don't create those others shy. So you see, so not only outside but inside also your mental condition rich in practice. Actually you're doing practice, not outside showing, but inside also. Normally your mind is rich in practice. Oh, you don't have to shame. So the main thing is that your own mind is enriched in practice, and you don't have shame. So, always you practice happy mind. Only happy mind. You practice only happy mind. This is you practice continuously, only happy mind. So if you get wealth, then kind of wealth, then to increase, to protect so many unhappy minds, namdo, superstitious mind, then making the mind unhappy, not like that. So if you don't have, then you don't have you don't create problem looking for it. Then you think shortcomings of having the world, So whatever good condition, bad condition, whatever happens, you use in the path to enlightenment. You practice satisfaction. You practice satisfaction. So as I mentioned yesterday, whether you are praised or whether you are criticized, so those four are desirable objects, four undesirable objects. So you equalize for your mind. So you make your life happy. So inner happiness, peace. So even there is suffering, but you see, then you utilize the path to enlightenment, so there's no unhappiness. Even your mind is distracted, but if you can, then you are trained. And that's what means, you see, who is not well trained, riding on the horse, when their mind is not distracted, then they don't fall down from the horse. But when the mind is distracted, then it falls down from the horse. So who is well trained and riding on the horse, then even when the mind is distracted, they don't fall down from the horse. So like that, you see. But when your mind is distracted, and somebody tells you bad words, you get angry. The meaning is that. When your mind is distracted, when somebody tells you bad words, you get angry. Then afterwards, after you got angry, then you remember. Then anger goes away. So, but if you trained Lojong, but if you trained mind training is done, then if it's done well, then when your mind is distracted, during that time, that other people hit you or say bad words, whatever, then you don't get angry. Even those times you don't get angry. Before, not well trained, then you see you get angry. But here, when they trained, if your mind is distracted, when during that time somebody beat you, somebody said bad words, you don't get angry. So you don't get angry or attachment or this. You see, so that's the definition of having mind trained well, Lojong. Then finish. Having trained well the mind in Lojong, and the 5 qualities. Whatever suffering, the harm you receive from others, delusion doesn't get upset. You see, delusion doesn't get upset. Your delusion doesn't get upset. Able to bear the hardships. The patience, endurance, able to bear the hardships, able to practice patience, So, Kadampa Teachings, so the great, so that is the first one. Kadampa Teachings means great, able to bear hardships, the first one. The second one, great bodhisattva. So, cherishing others more than yourself. So, that's great bodhisattva. Then, in all the conducts, Gijong Temple, in all the conducts, you see, great virtues training. In all the conducts, your great virtues training, that you never pass, you never transgress from the practice of the 10 holy Dharma. You never transgress from the practice of 10 holy Dharma. The 10 holy Dharma, like reading Prajna Paramita, like teaching to emptiness, like Diamond Kata Sutra, Heart Sutra, so read and write into those teachings. There, so I didn't remember all the no, sorry, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I don't remember. So read and write and recite and all that. You collect so much of virtue, cause of happiness. That. The one make our time, so great virtue training. Then next one, the one make our time, understand by the even subtle negative karma, non-virtue. And abiding in the great peace. Your mind is abiding in great peace. Great peace. There's a Dulzin Temple, great Vinaya holder. And then next one, teaching the Lam Namala Jurvi, Nanjava Chimbati. Teaching the Lam Namala Jurvi, Nanjava Chimbati. You are the great yogi. Your mind applying to the pure Mayana path. You are the great yogi, applying your mind in pure Mayana pure path. So, this is happens to the who trained well mind in the Lojong. So I think that's all. Okay. So I sorry, Kalmik, I was supposed to do Lama Teachers teaching the name of the path to enlightenment, but I began, but didn't get even half. So the incoming, at least half, less than half or something, maybe I thought I planned to talk, but didn't happen because I was trying other things. So next time when I come back, to my plans to go through that next time. But you see, I thought to establish 100 million Omani Pemikung. I did in Mongolia. So this year now they started, today or yesterday, they started for number 4. So this 4th time, each year one. So then I thought to start 2 places in Mongolia. But now I think when the coming, so I remembered, I thought the last day, the day of the long line initiation, I thought to establish in Kalmyk, people have much devotion, so they to establish or recite 1 million Omani Pemikung. So there are expenses and then also personal lead the prayer. So that we do in the Mongolia. Yeah. So to that, sorry, here also didn't finish that, didn't begin the teaching yet, the will of Shaban, but at least I do Lung. At least I do Lung. It's the same, it is basically the same thing, you see, anything bad happens, obstacle dharma, so you recognize come from self-chasing thought. Or to see, then you give it back. You eliminate, you destroy this substance or things like that. The whole thing is like that. Different karma, the different negative things, all that rising from self-checking, recognize like that. You see, and and with self-checking thought, what mistake was done. So that's why you have this problem. All that. All like that. So at least I did the Lung. As we plan tomorrow, liberty. Tomorrow what? Not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Explain liberty. Begin about it then. So hopefully, so sorry. And next time, whenever next time, maybe next line, or next to be able to explain the teaching, will shepherd. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
56. Om Om
그, 그냥 말이야.